Hello my lovely spectators, Diddy here, welcome to my studio. And so we are back with the Butterfly Emporium journal. So just to recap, in the other video I did the cover. I still want to address this wonkiness here, but that'll be like a finishing touch. I'm not going to be worried too much about it. We did the interior, put the pockets in here for this journal. I also added a little bit of black after the video was over, just to get that in place. Okay, and the back we covered it up. So this was a made it a 4-inch spine, and so now we want to address the interior and going forward from there. So I am going to be doing the 5 what's it called, 5 what's it called, signatures. But I wanted to cover this, and I said I was going to use this butterfly paper that was included. So what I did was I took it, I figured out how to get the 4 inches in the center, and then I have these two, and I want to put this here more or less top to bottom, and I will have an additional pockets on this side because I can just glue this down and this down like that and like that. So this will fold up nicely and this will fold up nicely. So let's take care of that first. Okay, so we're going to use a combination of things actually, because this is like fabricy. I'm gonna grab Fabri-Tac. Yes, Fabri-Tac, and I'm gonna use that. Okay, I have all kinds of things sticking to glue. This is a nail. Because this hole had to be bigger than a regular so that it could actually let the glue flow and such and such. Okay, there's also some tape here because when I scored it, it kind of cracked a little bit, so I just put a little bit of tape there. I'm gonna start with putting it on the edges over here. Come on. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna have to take this off. There's probably some kind of a little pluggy thing happening here. Yep, exactly. Okay. Okay, let's hope that that's enough to get this bad boy going. Yep, there we go. So we're going to put it right up on the edge where we know the fabric is going to be, and the fabric tape. And down here, let's not get it on the other pieces of the journal. Let's not be sloppy. And then up here, because this is all that Fabri-Tac is going to touch the fabric of the tape. Okay, and then I will just do a little back and forth going on here. So I'm going to place this down first. Make sure it's right side up, so we'll check. Okay, I know that this is right side up because of the butterflies. This was already ripped. I didn't mind it because, you know, distressed. So I want to kind of position it up and down center, but if it's a little higher or a little lower, it doesn't really matter to me too much. And you're going to notice that I'm going to be covering these holes, so I'm going to show you how I address that. And we're going to go from there. So here's our center. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at these creases here for the center lines there, and then kind of figuring out more or less the top and the bottom. So we're gonna place that there. Let's get the, oh, let's not get glue all over everything. Okay, the glue is gluing. Okay, here, so this is gonna be like that. Okay, all right, and so we have that nice. And what I want to do is I'm pressing this in because I do want to get this in there. So now I'm going to add some more Fabri-Tac in there because I want to get the shape of that divot, you know, where the journal book is closing. Okay, anytime now. So I didn't do any ephemera for this video. We're just going to talk about making the signatures, and I don't know if we're going to get to actually sew them in, because that may be a traumatic experience for all of us, but we'll see. So getting this in there, right, and then spreading a little bit out from the there. I don't want to go too far out because I want to keep this as a pocket. So I'm just getting it to the edge and the edge of where this front cover. Okay, now I'm trying to squish it in. Okay, I want to get it in so that it's laying inside the crease, and I'm gonna just go like this, make sure that it's in the crease. Okay, now this is popping up because I want to glue this to make a pocket. I'm gonna just glue here, so it's already trained, you know, to be that way, the paper. So now this is going to reinforce that, so we're going to do it again. Press it down, press this that way, okay, and we'll have another pocket. Okay, we may have to address this. I had something that looked funky in a black, and then when I came back the next day, I had like lightened up, and I think I hit it with a little bit of heat, which I'm gonna try again if this doesn't fade out, or I'll just put a little Sharpie over it. Okay, so I'm just gonna try that, make sure. Okay, okay, make sure that this is sticking. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna press it in so it's getting that shape that I want. I'm gonna go into that corner. I need to refill. I know. I need to refill. I'm trying to hone my skills on making journals. I don't normally do them on my channel. That's something that I'm thinking about, maybe doing more journals and rather than just ephemera. I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm still, you know, that's part of the mojo, like, you know, where's the channel going? Are they getting bored of me? That kind of stuff. All right, so let's leave it on the side. Now we're gonna press it again in. Okay, the tape that's back there is helping me for it to not like fall apart too much. Okay, we're gonna have that nice in there. Okay, and then I'm gonna take it, open it up, so now that it has its shape, we're going to put the art glitter glue on the edges to make a secondary little pocket. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have this pocket here. Now it's what's it called? Puckering. That's the word, puckering. Because this is going in, it knows that it wants to go in, but it wants to push the paper out that way. So it's puckering right there. That means I got to put some glue in there because it's not adhered correctly. So sorry, it's so close and up front to you. Okay, and let that sit again. Okay, and let that sit. Okay. All right, we will address this. I'm gonna let this sit for a minute, and let's talk about the signatures. Now, my journal, because I went with a book that I had that I wanted to make a journal of, and I felt that the coloring of this pink went nicely with the first bunch of butterflies. So I'm looking for my ruler. Where did it go? 'Cause I haven't. Oh jeez, where is it? Okay, it's probably right in my face too. All right, we'll just take another one. All I want to do is I want to just verify again. So from the top here, right, this is just over 10 inches, right? So I'm going to make my signatures 10 inches tall. So I can go a number of ways. So let me get this out of the way. Oh, 10 inches. And then it's going to need to be no more than about 8 inches in width. Now, that you could say, oh, that's a sheet of paper, but then it's not together. So we have a couple of options. One option is we could hinge two 8.5 by 11 papers together. Let me show you what I mean by that. Let's say these are 8.5 by 11, right? So I know that I have to have a 10-inch high and 8 inches this way. I could overlap by a half an inch, right? Then I would have a sheet that I could fold in half and then just cut the 10. So I could do that if I wanted to use like coffee dyed or whatever. That is a lot of work. And I say that, oh, here's my ruler. In the same breath that I'm going to say that I'm going to be using scrapbooking paper. And that scrapbooking paper will also need to be addressed, right? So that said, let me take out some of the pieces we have to play with. So every set of flowers, oopsie, no, my dear, is butterflies. Every set of butterflies is going to have its own set of collage papers. And so with that said, this is going to help me determine how many sheets I'm going to have in my okay, stay over there. My journal. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are for the they're for the different colors that we have inside of the butterflies. So, and they are how tall? 11 inches. So I would have to cut an inch off of this. And how wide are they? 8.5. So I would have to cut them down slightly. Now, I wanted to incorporate them, right? Because they are beautiful. They are part of this. So I pulled out this stack of paper that I've just been hoarding, because, you know, we got to stop hoarding our stuff. And sorry for the crinkles. Okay. It's a Cricut thing. I mean, it's nice paper. It has a texture and everything. So we need to make 5 signatures. So here's the thing. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. 4 colors. 4 colors? Yes, 4 colors. 1, 2, 3, 4 with the black. So I took an additional black. I didn't want to bring another color. I should have looked for craft. Hold on a second. Let me see if I have craft as well. Okay, so we'll make do what we got, which is not craft, not all craft, but brown. So we're going to do 5 signatures. So every other one is going to have a different version of the brown within it. So let's separate papers first. So we've got, let's do this in order. We're going to have every other one be a brown, right? So we've got that. We need 5 whites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 5 creams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 5 grays. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And okay, we just need to take out one. No, 1, 2, 3. I wanted to make sure because I purchased this off of somebody. It looked freshly, you know, sealed, so I knew it probably wasn't going to be missing anything. Now, since I have these and I have 5 signatures, I'm like, but I only have 4. Yeah, we're not going to deviate from the number of signatures because that's going to be too much. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 signature with you, and then we'll go from there. So I need to take out 1 of each of the colors. Okay, and then we'll put them in an order that makes sense. So probably we'll go from lightest to darkest or something of that nature. And then we'll take, well, let's do craft right now. Okay. All right. So we've got white, white, gray, black. Let's see here. Okay. I want to do this. Kind of want to do that. Kind of want to do this. I don't want this to be the first color. I don't want so yeah, I guess we'll do that. Okay, so we're gonna have a white page, a gray page, a black page, a cream and then a brown, some version of brown. Okay, and so what I want to do is I'm going to first cut them 10 inches tall. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to talk about how they're going to go in as a signature. Okay, because we have 5 butterflies in the same thing. So I'm going to open up. I don't know if you guys can see down here. I'm looking to see. We're going to tap, tap, tap. Okay. They're not from the same brand or maker, so the craft one is looking a little bit off. So we may need to do a little bit of extra trimming on there. So we're going to cut this down to 10 inches tall. And we're just going to try to do all 5 in one shot because lazy crafter. Okay, so we got that. Okay. Alright. Yeah, lazy crafter still doing double the work. Okay, let's do this again. Let's try this again. Don't be a lazy crafter. Seems so weird. Okay, let's see. I hope I didn't mess this up. No, did I? No. Did I? I think I did. Let's see here. It's just under. So 9 and 7/8. So I guess we're doing 9 and 7/8. Which, my bad. Well, it is what it is. 9 and 7/8. Okay. That's what happens. Okay, and with this guy, we're going to try to cut off this little sliver of extra. I mean, does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. We'll leave it. It doesn't matter. These are good scraps. They go in our scraps. Okay, and here we have our pages, right, for our signature. So let me bring back the cover and talk about what's happening there. Okay, so let's see how the gluing. So the gluing, there's no more puckering, right? We have it closing. It's a little stiff on this side, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. And so we do have a little bit of discoloration, but that's fine. So now, before I do this, let me go and talk about the fact that I covered up all of my holes, right? Well, I did and I didn't, because I had punched them out over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repunch them the back way out. So you'll see that I did punch them through the black after I put the fabric on there. So I already know where they're going to go. So right there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going right through the same hole, so it's very smooth and easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now the only issue is that my template for when I do want to do the pages, let's turn it around this side so you can see the holes better. They match up here and here, and the top is there, and this is set 10. So if I stick it to the top, I'm going to have a little bit of space on the bottom. So I need to adjust this one to be, actually it's longer than 10, so I should cut this down slightly. So let's take off, let's get official and let's use a trimmer, because you know we gotta start being better about things. Let's take off, I don't know, a little tiny sliver on the top, and now let's measure it so that it's 9 and 7/8. Okay, we're gonna take a little sliver off the bottom. All right. Holy cooch! Oh my god! I slapped the crap out of the camera. Oopsie. Okay, that looks good. All right. So these are now punched on this side. So when I bring a thing up to this and this, the top looks like it's gonna be great to have it be inside the signature. So we're good with that. Okay, so that's another quick little thing. So now what's going to happen is that I need my papers to be, what did it say? What did we say? Yes, we're 8 inches, right? We need our papers to be 8 inches. So I don't know why I keep putting this thing away when I know I'm gonna need it. So what I'm gonna do is, since this is 12, I'm gonna score at 4. Okay, so we're gonna score at 4 over here. Score at 4. Okay, and now you're probably saying that that's gonna be like not quite right. I know that. I have an idea for that, so we're going to go as we go. Okay. There, and 2 more. Okay, so scoring at 4. Since it's plain paper, it's not directional, then it doesn't matter what side I'm looking at it from. The reason why I pulled this out for the craft one was because, remember, it was slightly bigger, so I wanted to make sure that I had 4 inches, 8 inches on one side, if that makes sense. So let's take a look. Okay, so we've got them scored, so we're going to reinforce that right there. Okay, and then again this one. It's my bone folder nail. I know, right? Those of us who have some kind of nails always gotta mess them up because we got tools, but we use our fingernails for things we shouldn't be. Okay, and then here we go. The last one is this guy. All right. Okay, so just for argument's sake, we're going to take this and bring back the cover, and I just want to take a quick look and see how that is going. Okay, so it looks like it'll be just there. So once it's nicely fixed in, perfect. So now what I want to do is that each one of these guys is going to be a version of the flower, of the sorry Joey, version of the butterfly. Oh my goodness. And it's not like butterflies are not uncommon. We use butterflies all the time, and flowers and birds. So why am I having an aversion to saying flowers or saying butterflies? I don't know. So okay, so we said we were gonna do white and then do the craft, or we're gonna do the craft and then do the white. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to alternate long to short, long to short. That's what I was thinking. Or let's see. Let's stack them here for a minute and see how this is feeling. Okay. All right. So if we have them like this, the middle one is gonna have that. Okay. I don't know. I think I kind of want the dark one. I want the black one to be on the outside. I think that would be more dramatic, right? Then, so let's reverse these, okay? That. And then the white, the cream, and the craft. I think I like this a little better. I don't like the blackness in the center that was there. Okay. It is feeling a little bit off over here. Again, not too worried about it. So here, this is missing, right? Well, this is what we're going to do to fix it. We're going to take one of these sheets and we're going to hinge it or place it on here so that it will open up like this. And then we will have we can put another pot, we can have a pocket here or whatever the case is. We can have something there. No, this is not what I wanted. So I wanted to have, okay, how about this? Let's do this. Okay, let's go like this. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing that is because if this is the peach blush, the lightest one, and I have this here as that opening page, then what's happening is that I'm gonna have an ephemera in there, and then this is gonna be my peach blush butterflies right there. Then this one would have this guy. So let's see here. That's the second one. I have to double check the order. And then that would be pocket, and then this would be where the other butterflies end here. And then this one would be the one that we have there, and then butterflies and whatnot. And then this one would be the next one. Okay, and then that would be these butterflies here. And then this one would be here. And then that would be the next one, the butterflies there and there. Okay, so that's what I meant to do. So I'm incorporating each of these as the beginning of where those butterflies appear. So we are going to have to cut them down to 9 3/4, 9 7/8 rather, and 8 in order to attach them. Okay, and I just need to make sure that I'm attaching them in the right order. So my only other thing now is I don't have anything on the back in terms of decoration, and I feel like I need to have something on the back as decoration. I have an idea, but all right, so we're gonna set this up for the first one, and then we're going to put them in the proper order based upon the butterflies that are in the kit that's still in the right order. We can put the tabs on these pages. This is where they start. Lovely. And this is where we're going to need to attach these. So let me tell you an idea of what I'm thinking to do. So obviously this has one side that's open and the other side is sealed. So when you lift it up, it's completely clear. So what I'm doing is I want to have it fit on the page, right? So I'm going to cut it to about 7.5. And I'm also going to cut it in half this way, and I'm going to seal off the edges with some washi or something of that effect. So I'm going to be able to get 2 pockets. So I'm going to be able to put like 2, 4, maybe 6 on a page. I have about 45 of these, so I should hopefully have enough for those. And then on the one that's a half pocket, I do have a little one that could go right here and here. So I could cut this into 2, maybe get 4 pockets there. So that's what, but that's a lot to have because I only have 20 of these. So I would need to put 5 in each, 4 in each signature. But I have 5 thingamabobs. So we have to think about these guys a little bit. I mean, I could, worst case scenario is to commandeer one of these and make it match. That's an option. Okay. Plus, I'm going to be cutting off all of these, so we may not even touch these just yet. Okay. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to cut this down to about 7.5, right? Because it's 8. So we're going to go to about 7.5. Then I'm going to attach, some kind of a washi or something to the edges so that way they seal the edges. And then I'm going to cut it down the middle. And then I will have 2 pockets that I could attach. So I want to attach at least 5 on each side. 6 might be a little too tight. So we would have 5 and 5. That's 10. And then we would put a couple here. Hopefully that's going to be enough to hold all the butterflies. Okay. So let's cut some paper. Let's cut these bad boys down, and then let's look at what I can do for the back. So we're going to cut these down. So let's look at the layout. We have 3 like that. They're very similar. I don't want to cut away too much of something that I like a lot of. So do I want to keep the heavier one down in the bottom, meaning the full size more? So let's see here. Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, okay. This is fine. Okay. The only one I'm liking is because this, I like this better than this, but since they're all going to have this consistency on the bottom, I'm just going to do it like that. So let's cut this to 8, right? We have to cut it to 8 deep. Where's my cutting blade? Okay, 8. So, I know, right? Didn't I learn before not to do this? But, you know, I'm hard-headed. So we're going to cut this to 8 or so. Okay. Okay. Okay, 4 sheets of paper is maximum. So there's our 8. And then we're going to do it at 9 and 7/8. So let's just do the 4 sheets maximum. So I want to cut it this way. I'm going to cut off that up there. 9, 7/8. Okay. So I don't like that happened, but I think I'm going to round these corners just for the first page of this, or maybe all of them. I don't quite know yet. I was thinking about that. So let's do the rest of these. Nope, wrong side. Nine, 7/8. Okay. So we have more scraps, which we're going to keep because we are going to decorate part of this. So we're going to do that. So now let's go back and look at this, right? So these are some of the pieces that I could put in that pocket for the worm. So I'm going to pocket the first one. Or I could put this, I can make a pocket over here with this on this page of each one of the first one. I don't want to add another page just for this stuff. So let's see here. Page 7 and 8. Okay, let's go backwards. 6, 5, rose magenta. Blush. Okay. Okay. So these guys, so let's do the order to see what matches, right? So peach bloom is the first, oh no, page 10. Page 9 and 10. Okay. So we want this pinky rosy kind of color first, so let's find it. That's this one here. So that's first. Then the next one is our rose magenta, which I feel is this one, right? That makes sense. Then we have our scarlet, which is this one here. Then we have our autumn ember, which is this one. And then we have our warm peachy bloom, so that's that one. Okay. All right. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to put on the back here because it really needs to have something. I don't want it to be plain white. I have an idea. Let me do that, see if it works, and I will come back and we will continue. Okay, so here's what I was going to do. I went back into my computer, which let me push it back now, and I printed out on book page. So I found this really awesome dictionary. Don't recall the year, but very aged, as you can see, and so I decided to use these book pages in conjunction with the printout. Where did the other piece go? I just had something else here. And so let me show you, but I think I'm only going to be able to show you because we have a situation, which is that we have run out of ink. So I was able to print out the first 3. So the blush, I think, the magenta, and the scarlet. The other 2, This is really hard to see the butterflies. I mean, not to say that I'm not going to keep this and try to utilize it in something else, but for what I was going to do, this is not going to match, so therefore this goes out the window. So let me just break down to you what's going to happen. I'll do one of them. I'll do the blush, kind of give you an idea. So let's take this and this, and then the rest we have our, you know, our magenta, and we have our this, and then I have to go find some ink because that happened. Also, I found, where did I put it someplace? On one of these things. Where did it go? Oh no, I lost it. On one of these, on here, where is it? Did I put it up here? No. Shoot. Sorry guys. Sorry. Okay, I can't find the thing. Oh, on this paper here, the collage papers, over here he had a little Joey card maker, butterfly Emporium. Oh, here it goes. Ooh, it disappeared. So this, like, I punched this out, and I'm like, oh, this is so cute. I'm gonna put this on the back where I said in the last paper that I wanted to have a piece of his thing. Now I'm thinking there's probably gonna be one for each of the collections, so I might just put all of them down there so I have all the colors. But we'll see how much fits. So what I was saying was I was going to do this was to attach this to the back right here. I think it would be interesting. There was a little typo, but I think that the other page covers it enough that we're not going to even notice that. And I think it would be just like a nice little interesting little something happening there. So let's get the glue stick and put at least one page together. And then I'm going to have to call it done because I'm going to have to search for ink. Come on, where are the glue sticks? Like I'm searching for glue sticks. Oh my goodness. Hashtag craft room is crazy. One second. I've gotta have a glue stick. Oh, here we go. Oh, a little bag from my travel bag. Okay, let's use this guy. Why not? There's also another one that's like wrinkle free. Let's try that because I feel like this page is going to wrinkle up. Let's see if this really does. That feels like it's empty. I don't know. Yeah, this one is. I must have used it. That's how much I remember using it. Okay, this looks like it's new. We'll use that one. Okay. So what we're going to do is not leave this open so that it could fall over the floor. Okay, oops, sorry. And we're going to, let's see, what do I want to do? So I want to glue this to this. Do I put glue here? I think I'm going to put glue on the cardstock because it's a little more robust to handle the thing. Even though this, I've used the dictionary page and printouts on other things, I just feel like I want to, you know, not have to whatever struggle. For right now, I'm just going to put on this edge primarily, okay, and then I can fill in the rest as we smooth it to the other side. So really want to make sure you hit the edges. I don't mind getting my thing a little dirty. I'll wipe it off after the fact, especially since I know I'm not going to be gluing a lot right now. Okay, so I can't see with the lights over there, but I have to make sure that it's completely like wet. It's very viscous feeling, but from this angle I don't see the shine at all. Okay, right here. All right, let's start with that. So what I want to do is I want to get myself into this corner up there and around over here. Right, there we go. Okay, I think that would be a nice little detail in here. Okay, so let's take a look where we're at. We definitely need to get rid of that. So again with the ruler, here it goes. Like I just saw it. Let's just take it off with a little bit of a tear. Because, you know, why not? Maybe not, because now it wants to act a mess. Should have just used the blade. Okay, cleaned it up. Nice. Okay, we're also going to clean up this edge. So let me take that off here. Okay. Okay, there we go. So now we have this. Ooh, did you hear that thunder? Now we I am not going to keep this scrap. You should see this dictionary. It's like this thick. It's so cool. Anyway, so now we're just going to finish off adhering this on here. Okay. And I'm also going to have to ponder, because if I have to do this for each of the signatures, right, is it going to be easy once they're sewn in? So that's another thing that I have to consider. So right now, I'm going to just put this page together to give you a sense of what it's going to look like. And we're going to have to come back to another video once I get the rest printed out and stuff. Okay, so this is nice. Didn't wrinkle. I didn't, you know, so that's a good thing, I guess. All right, let's get that signature. Where is it? Oh, hello, where you be? Where you be? Oh, here we go. Okay, so since this pink is first, right, what we're going to do is we're going to attach this to here, like that. See? And then that's going to make us a pocket. And we'll have some of this nice decorative edge right there, which I think is cool. Okay, let's say you can see it better. Okay, so let's just do that one. So as I'm saying, if it's sewn in, how easy will this be to do if I sew in all the other signatures? Or do I sew the first signature in and then we save it for next month and whatnot? Oh, I don't like this glue. It's all over the place because of that, and it doesn't wipe away too easy. Anyway, it is what it is. Okay, so what I want to do is we need to glue. So I'm going to use our glitter glue, and we're going to put a nice bead over here at the edge inside the signatures, little crux where it's going to get sewn in at. Okay, and then we're going to do our little edge over here. Okay, and we'll do a little edge. Only because that's a lot. It's a big pocket, so I'm going to give it a little, you know, a little more glue on the sides because I'm not losing too much real estate when it comes to that. And so now what I want to do is I want to bring this up, so they're both leaning against the table. And we're going to smush them together. Okay, smushy, 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 smushy. Okay, a little tiny bit of wiggle room because it was a lot of glue. Okay, so it's gonna be like that. Okay, nice. There we go. Okay, we'll clean off whatever. So what I can do is put the ephemera pocket on all the bits that have to do with this particular collection on the first one of this, which happens to be on the rose. In here I have a nice pocket, right? And then subsequently, this is going to be where all the butterfly pieces are going to be. So we'll have butterflies here in pockets. We'll have butterflies here in pockets. And we will have butterflies here in pockets. I don't know if I need to, maybe I just put it on this one. I'm not sure yet. We could have one pocket and some ephemera in here, so that might be fun too. We did lose half of the book page, but I'm not worried about that. I think it's a cute little, oh look, they're there, you know, on the book, on the thing. So each one of these short pages is going to get, so this one will be with the rose, right, and the rose magenta, and so forth and so forth. So you know what, I think I'm gonna go, I don't like that happened there, so let's see. We're gonna have to corner around. Where's she be at? Where's she be? Come on, people. All right, I'll use this one. So we're gonna corner right here. Yeah, I don't want to use this one because there's a little bit of a mess right now. Plus it's a little bit, I guess, kind of wet-ish. I don't know. We'll clean that up over there, and then we'll do this. Okay. So I think I am gonna wind up corner rounding everything. That didn't solve my issue here. So I do need to kind of help this along. Okay. Okay, there we go. I'm also noticing that my paper was ever so slightly bigger. So let me fix that as well. Okay. So I'll wind up inking the edge because I want, I don't like that corner. So that'll be part of this, will be the inking. And then I will round all the other corners, right? Still have a little bit of overhang over here. Come on. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's look at the pockets. So at least I can give you that what's what, right? We're gonna look at that. So where's the one that I took out? I guess it doesn't really matter. I have one out. Here it goes. Okay. So I'm gonna need my trimmer again. I'm gonna need to put this glue away. And again, we're missing the pieces that we need to put in the thing. Oh my goodness. What is wrong with me? Oh, it's on the whole other side. Mind you, I have a pin cushion that I purposely purchased. And I have another thing that holds a magnet. And hello, I'm still not, using it. Okay. Get the trimmer. And let's talk about what we're going to do here. Okay. So I want to cut 7.5, but I don't want to cut this side off because this has an opening. I'm going to have an opening on this side. You may say, oh, we'll save yourself, but then I could actually use this as a pocket. So that's why I'm going to do it that way, right? So I'm looking for, first of all, let me take off the extra, meaning the overhang. There's a little bit of overhang longer for this pocket. I'm going to take that off. Let's get rid of that first. Okay, so that's gone, that little piece there. And now we're going to look for 7.5. 7.5? Yeah, 7.5. Okay, so now we have a pocket, pretty nice size pocket to put whatever into. So we're going to have a bunch of those. And we're going to need to cut these in half. Now, what I'm going to need to do when I do put them on the pocket is I need to wrap them with something. So I have to figure that out. Now, I have a ton of washi. Washi could do the job, no problem. Could put paper on there, not a problem. Okay, so let me show you. Let's do washi because it's just simpler. Just thinking about how much I'm gonna wind up having to deal with. So I also have this. Thinking about this, only because we have some gold throughout. Maybe I can use this. Let's see how finicky this is, guys. Okay. Okay, okay. So what I'm gonna do is, yes, I need a dispenser for this, but I don't have one. Okay, is I can put it on. Okay, so I'm going to use this guy as my guideline. So let's hold him down. And we're going to see how much over I can put this, or I can get away with. Okay. Okay, that's going to be nice there. right. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. You see me? Okay, right here. And I'm going to take another piece of this gold. Okay. I have plenty of this, so I'm not going to stress it out too much. Okay. Okay, yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up a little bit before, and I'm going to fold this over. Okay. And I'm going to push it back for now so I don't get the sticky all messed up. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. So this is going to be time consuming. So I'm just letting you know what I'm going to be doing to all the pages. And then the next time we come together, we'll be decorating a little bit and processing some ephemera. So there we go. We have it done. Edges are sealed. And here's our sticker. So what we need to do now is find out how wide is this sticker. So the sticker is 3.5. So we need to do it. 3 would be 1.5, 1.5, and then 1 3/4, right? So 1 3/4, 1 3/4, and we're going to slice it down the center. Okay, so we're going to have these pockets. This is what I'm going to make. And then we're going to affix them into our pages. So let's just cut this right there, right up to the edge of that. Right, I'm cutting that off. I'm going to cut this one off, trim it up. No one said crafting was quick. Okay, and then this over here. So for those of you that have a Target dollar spot, this is another where you can get some pockets. I know that on my channel I've done pockets using laminating sheets, etc., and regular plain paper. That may have been an option, but for this project I don't think that was an option. I was kind of thinking of that as well, but yeah. Okay, so now what we're going to do is on this page we're going to place our first pocket right there. Okay, and so we're going to take our backing off. Now, oh, this damn thing. I'm going to take some glue onto here because, you know, it doesn't have adhesive anymore. So in the hopes that it's going to make it catch, hopefully, you know, and then we're going to put our pocket. So I'm going to try to do this straight from my vantage point. Okay. Go down here. Does that look straight? I think so. We're going to call it straight. Okay. And I'm going to just press it down. I don't want to scratch the plastic, so I'm just going to press it like that. And then this is going to have that glue coming out, which is fine. Okay. Oof. Whoops. Whoops. All right. And so now we have our pocket right there. Beautiful. Okay. Let's do another. Okay, let's do another. Let's do the other one. And I'm not sure how much space to leave between. So I'm thinking I can get 6, maybe 5 pockets on here. Not sure. Maybe I should I go up to the top? No. Let's leave a spacer. Do we have a spacer? I think Joey had a spacer for his stuff. So I'm just gonna eyeball a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. And we're gonna just call it done and done. Okay, you know, beautiful. So now we have 2 pockets. Now this guy over here can easily fit there. So what I'm gonna do to dress him up is I'm gonna take my tapey tape, right, and we'll start off with him having a pocket there. Okay. I gotta see it this way, guys, because I can't see. Can you see? I don't know. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna go straight up to the edge of where the pocket is, the beginning of the pocket. I'm gonna press that down. And let's just cut that. All right, and I don't need it to go wrap around, so I'm just gonna cut it off right there. And I'm gonna cut it off right here. Perfect. And then we're going to have a pocket for this side right here. So let's just put this bad boy down here. Beautiful. Lovely. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here, but let's just recap so you know what you're gonna get when you come back, where we're gonna be at, because I gotta find ink to finish printing, etc. So we've got our cover. Where's our cover? We finalized the inside pockets, so we have places to put the ephemera that Joey provided. We made sure the holes were transferred so that we can find our holes for our signature later. Okay, we found this little thing here, which we could put right here. It's kind of big, but I can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might put all 5 so all the colors are there. I don't know. I could put 1, but it's just the one color. He also has something that says Joey Card Maker. Maybe I'll do that. That's this one here. Maybe I'll put that there in the corner. So it's something, one of these things is going to go there. All right. That said, again with the glue, the bane of my glue. Okay. That said, we're going to look at, so this is going to be our first signature, our first page. It's going to come out right here. And so we're going to have the pocket with the ephemera pieces in here. We have the other pocket here for more of the ephemera. We're going to turn it over. We have this beautiful book page of dictionary with the butterflies from the kit. We have a pocket for whatever. We might have another pocket here for whatever. Then we're going to have, I think we'll probably put 2 more. Yeah, on this. So we'll have the 2 more, and then we'll have the pocket that went with that. And on the back, we'll have 4 as well. Okay, then we'll have those extra pockets, but every time we build, we're going to have those pockets. So we're going to need to make the page, right? This page, and to put it here. So the only other thing is that we're going to have everything with the rounded corners. So let's take a look at how that looks, because we can do that quick, right? Because we're just going to do that. Oh, I didn't think about it here. Oh, it just makes it. Okay. Here and here. Here and here. So guys, what do you think so far of my journal for the Butterfly Emporium from Joey Card Maker? So I'm hoping that the next the next time we come together, I'm going to have everything attached in terms of like this, and my pockets, because you don't have to see that again. I have found the ink, right? And then we will be able to sew in the signature into our book. And so we'll do 1 signature, I think, maybe. Right? We'll do 1. I don't know. I don't know. We'll do 1. We'll do them all. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below. Do you think we should do them all? So like, I'm looking at this now and I'm like, it'll stick out a little bit. Am I worried about that? Is that going to bother me? I don't think so. Plus, it'll give me opportunity to add a little flurry or something over here on this side, because, you know, that would make it more pretty. And then I still have to address this. Maybe I should put some of this. Let's take a look. I know I told you you were going to leave, but you're dealing with a Puerto Rican. We say goodbye for half an hour, okay? So let's see, what if we do something like this? How would that look? Okay. Okay, I'm not mad at it, but I feel like I have gone crooked anyway. Okay. And the way that it just comes up so easily, I'm worried that I need to put more glue underneath it. Okay. All right. It's not officially on here, but you guys tell me. So comment on something. Do you like the gold here? Do you think I should just, you know, sew them all in and call it done, and then affix those pages as we go? What do you think? Because I think making the book and taking a month to make the book might be a little bit too much. So how do you guys like this? I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. I mean, I'm not mad at it, but I don't know if I'm in love with it. So you guys tell me what you think about this gold. You know, then I would have to put one on the back as well to match it up and stuff. And then I have to see what kind of, I am going to put some fringe, and I'm going to put a closure, probably some ribbon, some black ribbon, just to offset the fact that I have a lot of black going on in here. Anyway, now I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to say, if you're new and you've been watching, please consider subscribing. Please like the video. Please comment, please share. If you've been a subscriber for a minute and you always come back and got my back, thank you so much for your continued support. Please also like the video, share the video, and, you know, send me a comment. I really would like some input on this. I am going to take a little break. I'm not going to go running to do another video right away today. I need a little moment to process, and then I do want to try to post it before I go on to the next part, because I did ask questions. So that said, yeah, until next time, where we will sew in signatures and do finishing touches on the back here for the cover, and then we will put some of the ephemera in and decorate this page. So until then, ciao ciao, bye.